Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to be talking about the best teams for the Necrodrakon Dream Realm boss. So he's the final boss of the different 8 bosses we've seen so far in the new season. And again, TALENE is going to be the best damage option if you have her built up. But I'm also going to show you 3 other teams you can run if you don't have TALENE. Now the best overall team I managed to do was this one, which got 905 million damage, and this was the formation I used with the resonating spell. But it is using Shakira, Mikola, even Reinier at Mythic Plus, but this is going to be probably the best team you can run if you don't have TALENE built up. If you have TALENE, you just swap out ODIE for TALENE in the same positioning, have Reinier position swap the TALENE with the resonating spell. That is a really good team to run, and I have a replay of that from Old Grey Gamer, who almost managed to defeat the boss with that team. So we'll take a look at that. And then if you don't have, for example, let's say you don't have Mikola, you can also run this team with Smokey. And what I decided was, if you can go for Smokey, you can go for Smokey and Koko together. And this was the formation that I ran. And it got 820 million damage in total, so less damage than the Mikola team, but it is not using Shakir or Mikola. So for example, if you don't have Shakir built and you don't have Mikola built, then this can be probably the best option for you. And then if you don't even have Reinier at Mythic Plus, you can use Thorin, and this is the team that I use for Thorin with the resonating spell on the ODIE. Again with this formation, and it managed to get 774 million damage, which is still pretty good. And also, if you're having trouble surviving, you can always put Koko in here instead of the Shakir, for example, if you're not if you want to try that. Now as for the Verdant spell or the resonating spell, the damage is very similar. Like if you take a look here, we got 901 million with Verdant spell, we got 901 million exactly with the resonating spell, and then one time we got 905 million with the resonating spell. So that is going to be, those are the teams you can run if you don't have TALENE. Now if you have TALENE, then your best option is going to be these teams, which I'm going to show you. So we have, first of all, my Gilmay Splash. He ran TALENE with the Verdant spell, and also Koko, not even running the Shakir. He managed to defeat the boss with this team. So we're going to watch the replay. The formation is Mikola, then Koko, then Lily May all the way in the back, getting position swapped, and TALENE behind the Reinier to gain the advantage of the elite charms of Reinier for the attack buff on TALENE. So as you can tell, Mikola is up in the front, buffing the TALENE for the whole fight. You have the attack buff from control of the Honor Arena, and Lily May is up in the front, trying to be within the current sphere range of the Mikola as well. And with the Koko here, she's going to protect your team, but the team still is going to die later on. The Necrodrakon boss just deals too much damage at this point, so it's a race to if you can get enough damage before the boss defeats you, and it comes down to Lily May just doing a little bit of extra damage. If we look at the damage chart, Lily May did more than TALENE, but TALENE is contributing a lot. Like, now what I want to do is 500 million from Lily May, 308 million from the TALENE. Now if we compare it to my team without having TALENE, we can see the damage difference. And also one thing, for that team that he ran, he was position swapping with Reinier, the Lily May. The TALENE was back in the back of the fight behind Reinier, so that also makes a bit of a difference for the damage output. So with this team, we managed to get pretty much similar damage of Lily May and the ODIE. But that's because we weren't position swapping the Lily May like Splash did in his team. Okay, so he managed to get a full boss clear with that team, and now I'm going to show you the next team with Old Grey Gamer. So this is the other team option which I recommended. It's just the same as my ODIE team, but it has TALENE in the back instead of ODIE with the resonating spell to power up her damage, and with the Shakir again. And again, with this team, he was really close to clearing the boss, and he also tried the other team that Splash shared, and he got around the same amount of damage. So the teams are very similar. You can run either of them, but for example, if you don't have Shakir, you can run that Koko version, and it does almost the same amount of damage. But for that team, Verdant spell was better, and for this team, resonating spell for the raw damage on the TALENE. And in this position, Mikola is actually buffing up your Lily May, TALENE, and Shakir is buffing up both TALENE and the Mikola as well. Yeah, so he's going to take the boss to 98.5%, and all it will take is a bit more RNG from his runs, or a bit of improvement on his levels, he is at the soft level cap, but as you get above that level cap, you are getting a little bit of levels. Like for every 5 levels above the level cap, you get 1 level. So or is it 2 I think it's actually 2 levels, so that will help him. And then if he upgrades his equipment, maybe then he might be able to clear, and he probably will clear that boss. As for if you can move on to the hard difficulty by clearing the boss, you can run these same teams. These are probably going to be the best teams for the hard boss. Maybe the Koko team would be a bit better because Koko helps you survive better, and in the hard boss you usually need to survive. Okay, now I'm going to show you my team. We'll do a run of my team. And this was just the different team testing I was doing. But yeah, I mean, if you ever see Mikola as the best choice for a Dream Realm boss, you can always think about replacing the Mikola for Smokey, and it will do pretty much the same, but your damage is going to be a little bit lower, like with that team. And if you see a Reinier and you don't have Reinier at Mythic Plus, you can replace him with Thorin, because Thorin also provides a debuff onto the boss to increase the damage taken. Shakir can be replaced for Koko. That was a pretty good option, because Shakir's major role is to buff up your heroes, giving them damage reduction, and then also attack buff if he's at his upgraded exclusive equipment. And Lily May, so ODIE is probably, everyone will have ODIE, at least is at, even if it's not ascended, you can run ODIE in this team. And then instead of Lily May, you can run another damage dealer. Merrily, Corrin could all be fine. And can we get a new record? Close. Pretty close, yeah. We're pretty much capped out at the 901 million. Without TALENE, you can't really get to killing the boss right now. When it comes out in the future, we probably will be, but at the current level cap, it's very difficult. Even with the TALENE team, it's quite doable if you have fully built up team, but without TALENE, you're probably not going to be able to do it. Now, the interesting thing is that Lenya is not actually going to be the best option for any teams. Like the teams I've showed you, ODIE and Lily May, that is going to be better than the Lenya team. If you want to run the Lenya team, it is going to revolve around Kruger as a debuffer for Lenya, and then also running Lenya and Reinier and things like that. Because whenever you're running Lenya in a boss, you need to have Kruger, because Kruger increases all physical damage that the boss will take, and so it ramps up her damage by a lot. Okay, should we just take one more look? We can watch a replay of my let's watch a replay of the Thorin team, because yeah, this is a team even before getting Reinier to Mythic Plus. Like if you're a newer player and you have Lily May because you went for in rated recruitment, and if you have ODIE built up, and Koko and Smokey most people will have in Thorin as well, then you can run a team like this, and it won't be able to compete with the top tier teams, but it still gets off a lot of damage. Like you have your 2 key damage dealers here, ODIE and Lily May. You have the Thorin for the damage bonus debuff onto the boss, and you have Smokey for the attack and his buff. Although really for Necrodrakon, Smokey is kind of just a bad option, because he keeps getting silenced and prevented from casting his aura, and then he's not giving your team any benefit. So this team would be better if you had Mikola. Like for example, even if you don't have Shakir built up, you can run Koko and Mikola, for example, and that would be better. Mikola just does a lot better in Necrodrakon than Smokey does. Especially if Mikola's at Supreme Plus, because then once you cast your Curse Free at the beginning of the match, as long as you're in control of the Honor Arena, which you will be, then you are guaranteed to have like permanent uptype of the Curse Free. It doesn't have to be recasted, so like it counters Necrodrakon in that sense. Yeah, but anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and good luck getting a high score in the Necrodrakon boss. And that is going to be it for all of the 8 bosses we've seen so far. But I'm going to keep making videos on the updated best teams, because I'm sure they're bound to change each time we move on to a higher difficulty of the boss. And what I'm planning to do is, like for example, tomorrow is going to be Snow Stomper again. What I'll plan to do is give you the teams which were best last week, and as well as the teams, if there are any new teams which are the best, because then for people who are just starting the new season, like for example now, and they have the easier difficulty of Snow Stomper, then you can run those teams too. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, everyone, peace out for now.